better than it ended.
None of those stories have a point, though. I mean, I lost my ATM card. I lost my license. I had to go to.
You realize, though, the moral of a story is to start low and then gradually build it up. You started at the top and went downhill the whole way. You had like 3 parts.
Yeah, but the story goes downhill. I mean, the story goes down. I mean, the whole weekend sucked. Yeah, I mean, it was horrible.
That is the moral of the story, yes. Agitated. And now we get to do radio. 20 minutes in, we haven't talked about wrestling yet.
No wrestling. No, we're only 11 minutes in. Come on now, man. I don't know.
Let me exaggerate a little bit. What are you calling me on my mistakes right on the air here? We're live. You realize
live,
that?
Baby, live. I'm agitated.
Sure.
It's agitated. That'll be the word for tonight, man. It's been a rough.
Sesame Street, Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Right. What was the other guy? Blues Clues. Right.
One of them, yeah.
One of them guys. All right, so we got what do we got going on tonight? We had Backlash on Sunday night, which I know you saw. You're a big fan of pro wrestling these days, huh?
Well, my job requires I watch and follow all the TV and pay-per-views. I wouldn't call myself a big fan. Even calling myself a fan would be a little bit of a stretch, actually. I don't hate it. I can say that.
I'm just glad to have you here, dude. I thought when I came to you, what was it, yesterday or today, and I said, hey, Boone, I need you for hour number 1 tonight before Jose gets here. I thought, oh no, time to ask Boone again if he wants to come on live.
How many technical problems have I been facing with the computer, no audio, and then I got microphone problems today? Like, good Lord, I just want to do a stupid hour on WZR. What's the big deal?
It's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. Tons of news too. Tons of news. So we're going to talk about Backlash, Monday Night Raw from last night, and all that news that we just touched on. We got a live chat, WZROnline.com /chat. That's starting to fill up now. They all came at 7 o'clock. You know, usually they're here a little bit earlier, but they all showed up now. It's WZROnline.com /chat. Glad we got the problems over there all taken care of.
That's a little hard.
Yeah, I know. They're here every week. Every one of these guys, man, is here every single week. It's pretty crazy. So WZROnline.com /chat for that. The official website of WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. And the phone number to call in, maybe we'll do some phone calls here. If you have an MMA, UFC question while we have Matty B here in hour number 1, and you want to call up and ask about that, feel free to go ahead and do that. The number to call is 724-444-7444. Enter call ID number 30273, followed by the pound key. One more time, 724-444-7444. Call ID number 30273, followed by the pound key. That's it, man. That's I know. It's so much, dude. With the you have to wait for the operator to come on, right? And then she says, "Enter the call ID."
It sounds like a lot. You do it; it takes 2 seconds. But just having to read that long plug off 3 or 4 times a show, good Lord.
I know, it's brutal. Hey, a couple more things, right? You used to live up here in Albany. You're back down in Jacksonville, near Jacksonville now. But I'm still up in Albany, right?
Yeah.
On the mainstream media outlets today, ESPN's Michael Vick, the Arena 2 football, the Firebirds up here, they actually tried to get him to sign an Arena football deal, which is a little bit weird. That'd be interesting, to say the least, if Michael Vick shows up here in Albany. So I'm following that. And then the last thing, and you'll find
Dennis Rodman, man. You got Dennis Rodman was the biggest thing in the world. You know, he was bigger than basketball. Next thing you know, he's playing for like a minor league basketball team, begging the commissioner to get back in. And you got Michael Vick. He'll be working for TNA and doing Arena football and all this stuff. Woo! He used to be the man. What happened?
You know, I'll tell you what, Matthew Stafford, buddy, coming to the Detroit Lions, #1 draft pick this weekend. Hopefully you guys, he's a good QB, man. If he does what he did in college, he may be able to hook up your Detroit Lions here. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, NFL is a whole different ballgame than colleges. But and the last thing, you'll laugh about this, because we used to be up here in Albany, and you know me with police chases, right? Whenever I see a police chase or a live video of a police chase on CNN or whatever, I always have to pull it up.
Or like a tornado or something.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah, I'm a news freak. You know what I mean? I live on CNN.com.
Amazingly geeky. Yes, continue.
Yeah, I guess geek or whatever. But so I go on CNN today, and I see a police chase down in Atlanta, Georgia, Hotlanta. And basically...
That's 40 minutes from where I'm at.
the gist of this is, I guess they have I-75 or whatever down there. The gist of this is a guy steals an 18-wheeler truck, just the bed of the truck, not the flatbed or whatever, but just the bed. And he's in a parking lot, and he jumps on this thing, and the guy that owns the truck goes after him and, like, hops on the back of the bed of the truck and tries to get this guy, you know, hey, you're stealing my truck. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Really
so he's hanging on. Yeah. So this guy is hanging on for dear life on the back of the truck as this felon goes down the freeway with this guy hanging off the truck. Finally, they were able to put some spike strips down, and I guess the truck came to a slow, and the guy that was on the back of the truck being held hostage or whatever, jumped off the thing, hit the freeway, da-da-da-da-da. And if you want to see a partial video of this, you can go to WZROnline.com because they picked up the story as well.
You're plugging the car chase?
Once again, just an absolutely pointless story, but you know me. I'm a news freak, dude. Yeah?
You just plugged a crime. You go watch the crime at TMZ.
No, you go to TMZ. They have a brief video, but you got to see it. It's must-see video. TMZ.com. Guy on the back of an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, hanging on for dear life. Da-da-da-da-da.
Let me tell you
this.
this.
Anyways, okay.
You told that story.
Right.
It was better than your own story, obviously. That's one plus. That's one check mark in the plus category. You told the story well. It was a good story. The video footage sounds awesome, but unfortunately, $1 million says I never see that video in my entire life. Not even a second.
How did I know that was coming? How did I?
Not even a little bit.
See, these people don't know. I'll try to send you something online, or I'll send you a link, and I'll say, "Boone, you got to check this out." And I get this response. I will not click that link. I will not click that link. Or something kills me every time, dude. Kills me every time. But all right, now you want to talk about 20 minutes with no wrestling talk. We're 17 minutes in right now with no wrestling talk. So what do you say, buddy?
What's that got to do with 20 minutes?
Didn't you say 20 minutes earlier?
Yeah, but you just said 17. 17 isn't 20. It's a completely different number.
We could talk for 3 more minutes about absolutely nothing, and then
there you go.
Backlash if you want. No, let's get into
meet your quota. Yeah.
Let's talk Backlash, man. We had the Sunday night pay-per-view. A lot of things. I didn't
think the matches themselves were all great, but I thought the show itself had enough stuff that when you look back, you're like, oh, that happened. Like a month from now, we'll be like, oh, that's right, that title switch happened at Backlash. Or that's when Matt Hardy broke his hand at Backlash. Or the Jeff Hardy, maybe he's leaving, maybe he's not scenario was going on at Backlash. Triple H injury, Backlash. Cena injury, like all that stuff is going to, a lot of storylines are going to spew away from that pay-per-view this past week.
Oh, yeah. Really, really newsworthy. All 3 major titles changed hands, the WWE World and ECW title at that pay-per-view. Top to bottom, like you said, a really, really newsworthy show. Lots of things happened. They set up some new storylines. And then Raw last night seemed like it was more based around the new draft picks. You know what I mean? Throw some of those guys on there and see if we can't start up some new feuds, freshen things up. And I think they need to do that because the Raw rating came in a couple hours before we went on the air here, and it was a 3.4. And that's not good news.
Were they doing like 3.6 or 3.7 for a couple weeks?
3.7. It was a 3.7 last week, and I know you had the draft, all right? And so you go from a 3.7 last week to a 3.4 this week, and you're coming off a Backlash pay-per-view where there were 3 major champions, 3 new champions crowned, and all your new draft picks are scheduled to report to the brands this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to fall 0.3 of a point, I mean, 3.7 to 3.4 is a big jump.
That's quite a drop, and you got to think a lot of people were probably like, as far as I don't want to call them casual fans because they're more than that, but like the fans that come around right around WrestleMania time, maybe even Royal Rumble, go back a little bit earlier, but they come around in that time, see what's going on, see what the storylines are, see who the new characters are, who's on top, all that stuff. And then by the time WrestleMania is over, they're usually switching gears and getting ready for the next batch of story. Like you got MVP getting pushed last night. A lot of stuff like that. A lot of changes, new directions, I guess you could call it. A lot of people probably just aren't interested in getting into a whole new, like this is where we're starting fresh and starting new. A lot of people maybe aren't interested. They saw what was going on at WrestleMania. It's like, I'll check back later,
What do you think, man? We'll spend about 10 minutes on Backlash. We'll spend about 10 more minutes on Monday Night Raw from last night, and then I don't know if Jose is going to be here in hour number 2, so I want to take some phone calls. Well, I got you on the line as well, and then if apparently Jose, he's got this softball league, and he claims that
softball
the game
league.
tonight, yeah, I know, softball.
That's a girl thing, man. What the hell is that?
I know, but a lot of people do it. I have friends.
Does he have a volleyball league in the summer too? What does he got?
And tennis leagues and all that.
Oh, does he really do?
No. But he does play softball, and tonight's his first game. He claims that the game starts at 7 tonight, and he claims it'll be here for the 8 o'clock hour. Now, I don't know, man. The last time I played a game of softball or a game of baseball, it didn't last an hour. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's not as pansy as maybe